Did Vladimir Putin just reveal what was discussed behind closed doors with Donald Trump? In a bombshell statement, the Russian president admitted no peace deal was signed at the Anchorage summit, but claimed the US secretly put compromise proposals on the table. Putin's stunning assertion, "We were asked to make compromises. We agreed." According to Putin, American negotiators presented Russia with terms to end the Ukraine war, and Moscow eventually accepted them. He claimed Russia traveled to Anchorage, said yes to the US proposals, and has been waiting ever since for Washington to return to the negotiating table. Putin also dismissed claims that European leaders persuaded Trump to change course, insisting the US president is too experienced to be swayed so easily.
It is true that no agreements were reached in Anchorage. In any case, I am not aware of anything like that as yet. I know nothing about it. What's more, although this so-called spirit of Anchorage was not set out in any formal documents, no one signed anything, but we did discuss certain possibilities for bringing the conflict in Ukraine to an end. And the compromises that were discussed were the proposals put forward to us by the American side. We were asked to make compromises as formulated by the American negotiators. We agreed, so what else is there? We were asked to make compromises. We thought about it, not straight away. But we traveled to Anchorage and said, yes, we agree. We have heard no other position from the American side, from the US administration. We are expecting, once all the events and the critical phase on the Iranian track have concluded, the arrival of those representatives of the US administration with whom we have already met on several occasions in Moscow. We are ready to continue negotiations and discuss all the details and all our terms. If not the agreements themselves, then at least the issues discussed in Anchorage.
But Washington is telling a different story. Secretary of State Marco Rubio insists there were only discussions, not agreements, and rejected claims of any secret US-Russia deal on Ukraine. If there had been an agreement, Rubio said, the war would already be over. The conflicting accounts have now exposed a widening rift over what really happened behind closed doors in Anchorage.
There was no agreement in Alaska. There was a proposal, but there was no agreement. If there had been an agreement, we would have had an end to the war.
Ukraine has flatly rejected Moscow's narrative. Foreign Minister Andriy Sybiha declared the so-called spirit of Anchorage is certainly dead, arguing any peace formula negotiated without Kyiv was doomed from the beginning. Reports also suggest Trump has grown increasingly frustrated with Putin and may now abandon whatever informal understandings were once discussed.
The Russians like to talk about the spirit of Anchorage. As with any spirit, no one truly knows what it is. But the Russians believe in it, and they think everyone else should as well. The reality makes one thing clear. If the spirit of Anchorage even existed, it is certainly dead now. Moscow should stop believing in spirits and instead respond to Ukraine's serious proposals to sit down at the negotiating table and end the war. The longer Putin refuses to accept the reality that he will never achieve any goals on the battlefield, the worse things will get for Russia.
The result is a diplomatic showdown over one of the war's biggest mysteries. Moscow says it accepted America's compromise proposals. Washington says there was never a deal. Kyiv says any plan excluding Ukraine is finished. Nearly a year after Anchorage, the summit has returned to the spotlight, not as a breakthrough, but as a new battleground over who is telling the truth.